What to do, YouTube? It is your boy Drew. Today we're going to be checking out, did Sonic the Hedgehog copy everything from Dragon Ball? Now, before we get into this, I want to say, aren't they just literally just inspired? Wasn't it literally inspired? Because one thing I always noticed is the 7 Chaos Emeralds and then, the Dragon Balls. Like, that's the clearest one to me. And Super Saiyan and Super Sonic, you know what I mean? They both do the same thing. I mean, not the same exact thing. And they have different moves and all that. Like, Sonic's not in a Kamehameha. So, I'm interested to see if there's more stuff I haven't noticed. That's the only thing I've noticed that they're inspired from. Yeah, I think so. So let's just check it out. Go check out Ty Records. He's a pretty funny dude. We'll be reacting to a couple of his videos. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Ever since the trio consisting of Sonic, Shadow, and Silver the Hedgehog was introduced to the whole world in one of the worst games of all time, Sonic 06, the trio has been ironically known as the greatest trio of all time, or at least
Really?
one of them. But have you ever heard from someone or said to yourself, Silver the Hedgehog is literally a copy of Trunks, Sonic is just like Goku, and of course, his rival Shadow is a copy of Vegeta, who rivals Goku. Based off of this,
I actually never really thought about it like that.
Sonic literally copies Dragon
I really
Ball.
never thought
If
about
you're
it
a
like
fan
that.
of the
I'm
Sonic
gonna be
the
honest.
Hedgehog and the Dragon Ball series, this probably has crossed your mind
guess.
at least once. And since
Yeah.
I don't fully agree with the comparison, here's a
Me
video
either.
about the history
I agree with the
behind
Super
it
Saiyan and Super
who
Sonic,
Sega
but
actually
other
was
than that,
inspired by
yeah.
when making these characters. So
Not really.
make sure to mind that like button
Hey,
and subscribe.
y'all like my video and
before
subscribe to me.
anything, and enjoy. It's 1991 and Sonic the Hedgehog was just introduced, taking the gaming world by storm.
What's his music, though?
Coincidentally, this is also the same year Super Saiyan Goku was introduced in the Dragon Ball Z manga and TV show.
Oh wow, the same year.
And by
That
next year, Sonic would come clean with his first comic book. I mean, not this one. This one. Also in the same year of 1992,
That better not be what I
Sonic the
thought
Hedgehog
it
2
was.
would be released, along with Super Sonic's first appearance in game.
Hey.
Now, for first glance, it does look like Super Sonic is a complete rip-off of Super Saiyan Goku, and it obviously is.
Yeah.
The only difference being Sonic having red eyes and Goku
Oh.
having blue. If you didn't know, Yuji Naka, who's
Yeah, but that's clear, and I won't even say. I mean, I guess it is copying, but it's also his inspiration. You know what I mean? Like, dude was probably really inspired by Dragon Ball, and so
one of the 3 creators of Sonic the Hedgehog, is rumored to be good friends with Akira Toriyama,
Oh.
who is the creator of Dragon Ball. Yuji Naka was even a
That's actually
developer
dope.
on some of the Dragon Quest games, and recently just found himself in trouble as he's about to be put in jail, and he was just fined $1.2 million over insider trading. Now, it's important to note that
Oh
not
my
only
gosh.
did Akira Toriyama make Dragon
lore
Ball,
running
but he
deep.
also made Dragon Quest as well.
What are you in
So
jail
it's
for?
highly likely that Sonic's super transformation is inspired by Goku, and that
I
goes
think
for
it's
all the other
100%,
hedgehogs
especially
as
with
well,
how it's done
except
too.
Amy, of course.
Leave it to me.
Now, did you also know that Toei Animation, the owner of Dragon Ball, and the company behind the designs were asked by Sega to produce Sonic CD's cutscenes,
You got Peek on in the
which
background.
from there on shaped Sonic's design, personality, and coolness? Before Toei, Sega's Sonic design was kinda mid. Like, if he were to ever go back to this, I would be disgusted.
The dog shit.
I just never liked it.
It's
And
not
sorry
that
to the
bad.
Sonic Underground fans, but that's not my Sonic, and I'm
Maybe that's why I don't mind it that much. I mean, it looks chopped right
and
there.
sorry to the Sonic Underground fans.
It generally looks kind of chopped right there, but it ain't that bad. Like, I guess Sonic Underground is kind of what I knew of Sonic when I was younger.
But
So maybe that's why I'm
not
more
my
used to it.
Sonic, and I'm glad I didn't grow up watching that. Nothing personal. Anyways, it wasn't until 1993 Toei Animation would renovate Sonic, embedding that cool smirk into our brains. Toei Animation did
So Toei
God's
literally did
work
that.
and got rid of that horrifically ugly round skull print on Sonic's head and gave him swagger and finesse. The way he did everything
So
swiftly
they really just
and
locked
got
in.
out and evaded any dangerous situation just in time in the blink of an eye really brought out the character,
Damn.
showing us he's all about speed and having fun as a hero.
What does
By
that got
now,
to do
if you
with
haven't
him
noticed,
copying
even though
Dragon
Toei
Ball?
animated this short film, it doesn't really look like Dragon Ball Z. That's because
Oh, 'cause
shows
it's-
like
it had to
Astro
do
Boy
with
and
Toei?
Sailor
Toei?
Moon were being animated around this time by Toei as well. In my
Right.
opinion, the Sonic CD cutscenes were definitely more inspired by Astro Boy's designs. Many people
Astro
that
Boy,
didn't grow
man,
up
that's a
watching
throwback.
Astro Boy or never even seen it probably won't like this, but at the time, Astro Boy's animation was outshining Dragon Ball.
I think I don't know if I watched the Astro Boy anime, but I remember there was like 3D movies of it when I was younger. And I remember watching those.
Ball Z's without a doubt.
But I don't think I watched it. I don't think I watched the
It
OG.
was remastered with Dragon Ball Z Kai. Astro Boy was the first anime to air on TV, so it only makes sense.
Right.
So Sonic's designs and personality aren't really inspired by Goku, in my opinion. I'll give
Inspired
it, they
by
do
Astro
have
Boy.
a pure heart to where they won't kill their enemies unless they really have to, and they'll forgive anyone no matter what they did. But Sonic's personality is all about speed.
That's 90% of main
patient,
characters these days.
short-tempered and having fun, and being laid back and cool while also being adventurous.
Right.
Goku is more energetic and fight hungry, kind, but also stupid, and compared to Sonic, he comes off as more of a selfish person. And in terms of the whole rival thing, unlike Goku and Vegeta, Sonic and Shadow's rivalry isn't all that big. It's obvious who's stronger than who. Sonic beat Shadow while he had a Chaos Emerald in Sonic Adventure 2, and in that same game, Shadow said he was going all out because he wanted to kill him, and I'm serious.
Oh my
He said,
gosh.
I can't let you
Yeah,
live.
I can't
Your
let you
adventure
live.
is coming
I
to
remember
an
that.
end now. On
was like
top
a week
of that,
ago when I
Sonic
first saw
beats
that.
him again in Sonic Generations with no problem. The rivalry is really not there. It's really obvious
One-sided.
who's stronger than who. Goku
One-sided.
and Vegeta actually rival each other throughout the whole series in every single fight, with their battles actually being very close and never actually ending with a real.
I'll be honest though, at the end of the day, it is kind of clear that Goku is stronger in a way because Goku always powers up before him, like on his own, before Vegeta can level up too.
Winner until recently in the Dragon
So I would say
Ball
they're both
Super
kind
Heroes
of.
movie. If anything, Sonic's real rival, I would say, is Eggman. They fight and rival each other way more compared to Shadow. Enough about Sonic and Goku, though.
That
It's
makes
time
sense.
to talk about Vegeta and Shadow. Fans compare Shadow to Vegeta mostly because they both have
I
their
genuinely
own
don't see
pride.
this.
Both were a villain at one point that became good and even sacrificed themselves at some point. Both rival the main character, hate working with others, and wanted revenge at one point. And although this all seems to make sense and add up, it's
Maybe.
just not true.
Yeah,
Shadow is not as prideful as Vegeta. For example, when Vegeta sees
Yeah, Vegeta got a different level of pride. I felt my light too bright, bro. My fault. But yeah, I think Vegeta's on a whole nother level, and it's type of things like, you know, people would have to point out for me to even think about it. Like I really didn't think about. I definitely thought about Sonic and Goku a little bit, but Vegeta and Shadow, I never thought about it
Goku
personally.
become a
What
Super
about
Saiyan,
y'all?
He seemed happy and congratulated him on Namek, but in the Buu saga, we get more context, and he
You
says,
had become a Super Saiyan. It tore me apart. How could a low-class soldier accomplish so?
he held a grudge against Goku for years, and up until the recent Dragon Ball movie, he wanted to fight Goku badly. We don't get this from Shadow. Shadow complimented Sonic and even called him the ultimate life form and praised him.
Damn,
Discovered what the ultimate life form is. It might be you.
it might be you. That's
Held
kind
a
of
grudge
clean.
when losing to Sonic and doesn't care about fighting Sonic to see who's stronger. Shadow
Right.
also doesn't hate working with others. He does it all the time in Sonic Heroes, Sonic 06, and
I feel like most you could say is
Sonic
inspired.
Adventure 2. Just like Vegeta sacrificed himself
And I'm
to
a big
save
Dragon
the
Ball
whole
fan
planet,
too, so-
Shadow did it 2 times. And even that, he didn't even die. Vegeta did. Long story short, Shadow's not inspired by Vegeta. Mewtwo from the first Pokemon movie. Now you're probably like, what? Huh? Dude, what the freak are you talking about? Listen up.
I'm
Shadow
gonna
was born
listen.
and created in a lab. Mewtwo was born and created in a lab. Shadow was considered to be the ultimate life form with chaos energy flowing inside of him, and Mewtwo was born and considered to be the ultimate life form, having all the DNA of every Pokemon, including human and Pokemon DNA inside of him. Shadow hated the humans for hurting the ones he loved. Mewtwo hated the humans for hurting the ones he loved the most too. Shadow was born not knowing his purpose until he realized that he's more than just a test subject. The same thing happened with Mewtwo. He didn't know his purpose and realized he's not just a test subject, and he forgave
Damn,
all of the
that's
humans
kinda
and
crazy.
started fulfilling his own destiny.
That's
along
kinda
with
crazy.
Shadow as well. Shadow was more inspired and based off of Mewtwo, and you can't tell
Wow.
me otherwise.
Nah,
Now
I see
on
that
to
way more
Silver
now that I
and
think about it.
Trunks. Whoever says Silver isn't inspired by Trunks, it's no use. Stop glazing Silver so hard. It's so obvious. Silver is the final hero in the future timeline left, and when unable to defeat the foe at hand, he goes back in time.
Right.
Future Trunks is the final hero in the future timeline left.
Okay,
and
so he's
when
saying this
unable
one's
to defeat
certified.
the foe at hand, he goes back in time. Not to
Inspired by
mention,
Trunks.
Silver lost Blaze, someone he really cared about, trying to stop Iblis. Just like how Trunks lost Gohan, who was trying to stop
Damn.
the androids. Both of them have one of the most tragic backstories of all time in
Right.
their series, and they live
Right.
in a timeline where I'm pretty sure all of us would not want to live. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think Sega was copying Dragon Ball and pasting stuff and trying to be slick? Or do you think they were just inspired by a couple things?
I literally think it's all inspiration at the end of the day. I don't even know if there's such thing as copying, because it's like, if you think about it, like what do you mean? Like it's a hedgehog. It's a literal hedgehog. It's not like they made a character named Doku. He's a human who wears a red outfit in the same way and he goes super playing. You know what I mean? That would be copying, but it's like completely different. I got Super Sonic, Super Saiyan. I don't know, a little bit there. And then with the Shadow thing, honestly, I never thought about Vegeta and Shadow. Never once crossed my mind. But Vegeta and Mewtwo, my fault. Shadow and Mewtwo, that kind of makes a little more sense. But yeah, basically what he said is like, okay, it's inspired by a bunch of different things. Sonic's inspired by a bunch of different things, and I think that's what makes things great. You know, when a creator takes bits and pieces from other things that they watched in their childhood or they're watching right now, and added to it. It's cool in my opinion. Inspiration's a beautiful thing in my opinion. So especially when you end up creating something new to it and making your own story with it. So I think Sonic was inspired, and that's pretty much it. Comment, like, and subscribe if you enjoyed my reaction. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.